What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Show. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? This is kind of a start of something I'm going to really start trying to do from this point on. Really, if you're here just for this news, hold on a quick second. I'm sorry. I want to get through just a couple announcements. I'll try and make these as quick as possible. Before I left school, I was a journalism major. I was, writing a lot and all that. But now that I have I guess it's a part-time job, but I work a lot of hours and everything between sleep and working the channel in a new job, I'm finding a lot of tough time to sit down and just really write articles and edit them and yada, yada, yada. So what I'm going to start trying to do is start doing like one-off news videos, kind of like this, where I feel like they won't fit with the weekly show that I'm planning to do that week. Like this week is planning to do pretty much all videos, like stuff like the Dying Light things. Subscriber Akita Touchdown sent me an analysis video of a whole bunch of stuff that's supposed to explain a lot of Death Stranding. I still actually need to go through that video, but what I think we actually have maybe a little bit of Yakuza 7, I think. I don't know. Again, I haven't fully looked into that. I think somebody said there's a clip out there, and I want to see if I can find it. But either way, we're going to be looking at a lot of gameplay, and I don't want to bog it down with too many articles in the front, especially when I can handle this in, just like a one-off video. So if you're watching this over on the website, basically, I'm going to start trying to do one or two of these every week, which I find a story, oh, cool, I want to take like 5 minutes to talk about it. I'm just going to do like a really kind of short video on it. That's the first thing. Reviews, I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm going to really try and bump up my editing skills and learn how to actually do real like video reviews as opposed to doing a full out written review. Those are going to be probably more scripted. I usually don't like to read from a script, but that's what those are going to be. So that's my plan. If you're watching over on the website, what's going on, and this will be categorized under the news videos, tab. Again, I had to change what some of those tabs read, but either way, that's enough on that. The last announcement, I promise, is about the Cyberpunk 2077. There's, I believe, a live stream scheduled for tomorrow. I will be watching that, and there will be a video for it up. Will it be tomorrow? Yeah, it's Thursday. Sorry, I worked overnight, and I'm forgetting what day of the week it is. It's Thursday now. Tomorrow being Friday is when the live stream is, and so there will be a video for that, so stay tuned. All right, now on to this actual piece of news. I'm sorry, again, I tried to get through that as quick as possible. Telltale freaking lives, guys. I am so excited about this. I'm so happy that Telltale's not dead. Now, I guess you could argue that it's not 100% back because there are some IPs that aren't coming back with them. But you know what? First, let's actually read the article. The reading the news story. This is on Push Square. This was first sent to me. Again, I mentioned him earlier. Akita Touchdown, dude. I want to say thank you so much. Because, I would have seen this on my Twitter, but I saw this first from you. So I am using your article by Robert Ramsey, like I said, of Push Square, and I want to say thanks, dude, for thanks, dude, for looking out and making sure I saw this, if that makes sense. The article reads, Telltale Games was shut down last year, and with the studio's closure, numerous projects were supposedly cast into the void. The Walking Dead's the final season was spared limbo when it was revived under Skybound Games, but as for projects like The Wolf Among Us 2, I'm still shedding a tear for that, which was confirmed to be in development before Telltale was shuttered. The future was completely up in the air. We write was because Telltale Games is reportedly on the cusp of being reborn. According to Polygon, the studio's assets have been snapped up by LCG Entertainment, and it plans on continuing the developer's work. The new studio will be headed by two fresh faces, Jamie Ottley and Brian Waldle. I don't know. I can't pronounce those names in all honesty. Both of whom have experience in the video game sphere. In an interview with Polygon, Otley says the company now owns the rights to licensed properties such as The Wolf Among Us and Batman, which means that they could potentially be brought back. And I quote, we're still evaluating, but we definitely want to continue some of the stories, end quote, said Otley. As for the canceled Stranger Things adaptations, Otley says the rights were returned to Netflix, so don't go expecting that one to suddenly spring back to life, end quote. For fans of Telltale's output, this should be pretty exciting news. Otley reckons that Telltale had a viable business, but it was brought down by market conditions and some scale choices made by the studio's management. Indeed, it's believed that Telltale essentially worked itself into the ground, taking on too many projects at once, that I'll get into that in a second, and oversaturating its own market. Quote, I like games that tell stories, and I think our industry should have a company that specializes in narrative-driven games, and quote, Otley continues, what do you make of this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that general kind of like questions. I'm super happy that Telltale's going to get, well, again, I think they're not saying it's not 100% yet, but still, I'm glad that there's still some life in Telltale. I'm really glad that somebody's trying to bring this company back. I love Telltale games. It's always held kind of like a soft spot in my heart. Now, what they were talking about, this is something that I really wasn't thinking about until tonight, actually. I actually hadn't read this full article. I kind of skimmed it during some of my breaks, but I didn't think about this until recently, that a big reason why Telltale probably was having some problems was, like they said, oversaturating their market and working themselves into the fucking ground by starting too many projects. Trust me, if you see my whiteboard and all the active series that I have on hold right now because I've started way too many at the same time, and now I just have a giant list in a backlog, and I'm going, son of a bitch. I'm not happy with myself about that. I really need to be better about finishing things. But again, I think that's kind of what Telltale, come on. The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us 2, they have one for Game of Thrones. They have one for Batman. Did I mention Tales from the Borderlands? Did I mention they had a Minecraft series? Did I mention, like I said, they're working on a Stranger Things adaptation? They're working in so many properties all at once that I think the studio just didn't have the resources to put all that work into it. I think that it's like they said, I think they tried to do too much with too little. And again, as somebody who does that, I can understand it. But I am really glad to see Telltale come back, especially with The Wolf Among Us 2 actually being possible again. Because again, it's confirmed that they should be able, that they have the right. That I'm gonna make sure I'm reading this correctly. Otley says the company now owns the rights to properties such as The Wolf Among Us and Batman. Yes, okay, so they definitely have the rights to The Wolf Among Us and Batman, which are honestly probably my two favorite Telltale games. I'm so glad that those are coming back. I think the ones that I still don't know and that are on the fence, again, I say on the fence because I don't know who owns the rights to them and if they can actually still do them, are Game of Thrones, which I actually really do hope gets a sequel. I really like the first season of Game of Thrones. I want to see where it goes. And Tales from the Borderlands. I would love to see a Tales sequel, because Tales from the Borderlands was so fun. I absolutely loved it. Again, that moment where Scooter dies, but you can actually, you're playing as the female character. I got to play that game again because it was so fucking funny. But you can, give him a hug, give him a hug, kiss him, all that. Or you could do probably the option that I picked in the Let's Play, and my favorite option, which is you could shake his hand and say, good job. It's a great moment. But no, I'm super excited about this. And actually, we are going to go to a section of an IGN article real quick that will talk about what actually the company does not own the rights to. All right. Sorry, now that I switched over this article, I got to get used to reading a totally different font. This is an article on IGN. We're only going to read one part of it, but it's by... Honestly, I can't. There we go, Matt Kim. I'll provide links to both these articles down in the description, by the way. But okay, what games will... No, I skipped over actually what I did want to read. Okay, what can new Telltale do? All right, a former manager at Telltale who wished to remain anonymous revealed to IGN that Otley and LCG Entertainment purchased the rights to Telltale this past spring. Quote, it was a yard sale. Jamie picked up the Warner IP and brand name. The new entity could now legally reactivate the licenses with the IP holder's blessing, end quote. However, IGN has learned that certain licensed properties held by Telltale have reverted back to the original IP owners. Quote, Minecraft went to Microsoft, Marvel went back to Marvel, The Walking Dead went to Skybound, end quote, the source familiar with the matter said. Not surprising that The Walking Dead went back to Skybound, with the fact that is Skybound finished off The Walking Dead. Now, is Skybound going to do anything with that IP? I don't know. Could new Telltale pick it back up? I don't know. Just like the Marvel one. I don't know if they want to. I don't know if they will. I feel like doing it through Marvel would be a kind of a pain, although Marvel has been shown to work with other developers. They worked with Insomniac for Spider-Man. They're working with Square Enix right now on the Avengers game. So who the hell knows? Maybe Marvel has made some decisions that I seemed odd to me in the moment, but came out with some good games or some good-ish looking games. I don't know. I'm still not sold on Avengers, but that's a different topic for a different video. And Minecraft, I honestly couldn't give a shit. Mostly because I don't like Minecraft. But that's, again, a personal thing. So, you know, what they've lost, I don't necessarily mind. But I get some people would. But again, I think as long as they're holding on to The Wolf Among Us and Batman, I think that's good on them. We still got a little bit left. However, WB licenses like the Batman, The Wolf Among Us, and the original Telltale IP like Puzzle Agent can be reactivated by new Telltale. Our aforementioned source says that WB likely blessed Batman and The Wolf Among Us for the sale to go through to LCG Entertainment, so at the very least we know that the new Telltale can work on those IPs. See, I'm actually extremely excited, and you can go through the rest of this article on your own time if you'd like. But again, it's like I said, I'm super excited that we get The Wolf Among Us 2, because The Wolf Among Us is my favorite Telltale game. I love the character of Big B Wolf. I thought it actually, despite having a so-so ending, I actually think it had some of the best moral decisions. I thought it was the coolest world that we got to exist in, because I really love these, like, all the fairy tales existing in this like borough in New York, but at the same time it was really kind of dark and gritty. It was kind of like an old school PI film. You know, you saw Big B constantly get demonized by people for what he did in the old world, being the big bad wolf and everything, but at the same time you could see his struggle of being you could see his struggle of he's trying to change, he's trying to do the right thing, and then, you know, you have Snow White being his conscious, and there's that pseudo love affair between them. You know, that was great. You find at the very end that he's actually, didn't he say he was like the son of like one of the the North Wind or something like that? It was a new kind of take on that. And yes, I understand what The Wolf Among Us, isn't it based on a comic book called Fables? Isn't it by Dark Horse? I could be wrong in the publisher, but either way, I think it did some cool stuff, especially for somebody like me who maybe didn't know about Fables ahead of time. That was really cool. You know, I also like how they brought in stuff like the Jersey Devil and Bloody Mary and some of these like the urban legends that aren't necessarily fairy tales into it. But again, I'm just gushing with The Wolf Among Us. But I'm super glad that we're probably going to get The Wolf Among Us 2. And I hope, if anything, that's what they start with. They drop The Wolf Among Us 2 as basically, hey, Telltale's back, baby, giving people the middle finger who thought that they were gone for good. I love that they're coming back. I'm loving that we get to see their IPs come back. So at least some of their IPs come back. And like I said, I'm holding out hope for Game of Thrones Season 2 and Tales from the Borderlands Season 2, in all honesty. As far as the Marvel, Minecraft, and The Walking Dead, honestly, they could lose those, and I wouldn't care much. Not saying I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy, I just didn't think it works as Game of Thrones, at least there's plenty of talking in Game of Thrones and everything. You know, I didn't need all the action. With Marvel, where you're doing comic books and everything, I feel like you needed more action. I think Batman worked, but I think it just as easily couldn't. I think the reason Batman worked was just because it was written so well. I like the characters and everything. But again, maybe this is just my opinions. I'm kind of just going in circles here, so I'm going to close out, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me, what do you guys think about this? Do you like that Telltale is probably coming back? Do you like, what do you think about the IPs they were able to hold on to and what they lost? Where do you think they're going to go? Do you think they're going to fall into the same issue, or do you think it's going to be run a little better this time? I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. As far as I'm concerned, I think I'm happy and I'm hopeful. That's my take on it. As always, social media links, that is Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com, links, all that stuff is down in the description below. Like, comment, you're not already, please subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more next time. But until then, guys, my name's AJ Gels. This is Something Game Channel. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm out.